Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a good night rest. Yeah, you might like to know how this good news I'm spreading started. I woke up one morning about 3 years ago, opened my Bible to study the scriptures, and where I opened was John chapter 1, and it started. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh. That's verse 23. And I it didn't make sense to me. And I asked God, this doesn't make sense to me. Spirit of God, explain this to me. Why didn't it make sense to me? It didn't make sense to me because Jesus in another place, or Yeshua in another place, he says, mm, flesh accomplishes nothing. It is the spirit that giveth life. So how could the flesh that accomplishes nothing, or how could the word, which is spirit, turn to flesh that accomplishes nothing? You see, it didn't make sense. And then when I asked the Almighty to help me to understand this, He took my attention to the baptism of Yeshua. What happened at that baptism? After his baptism, He said heaven opened, and the Spirit of the Lord tabernacled like a dove on Yeshua. He came down from heaven and tabernacled like a dove on Yeshua. I and I did extraordinary studies. Extra scriptural studies using Greek Bible. And do you know what I understood? Okay, I understood that the word they use there, which is a Eulenitio in Greek, means to leave one place to another place. In other words, they're telling you that the word became flesh means that the word, the spirit of the Almighty, left heaven and tabernacle in another place, Yeshua, the flesh. So it was the spirit of the Almighty that tabernacled in Yeshua and used him to do the so-called miracles they said he did. Okay, so that is where my salvation started. And I started digging deep. I started seeing lies, and eventually discovered that New Testament is a whole bunch of lies told by Romans to deceive Africa. Africa, wake up. Throw away that garbage they called Christianity they gave you. Until you do that, your salvation can never come. Have a nice day. Cheers.